property isn't as passive as you think. TV's gone. The mirror's gone. Everything's gone. Like, everything's gone.
It's hurtful, man.
I don't necessarily believe that rent to rent is a segue into BGR.
How important do you think networking is in the property space and for your journey?
I've got two opinions about this.
Welcome back to another episode of the PBK podcast. Today we have Esther Lara. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So Esther is a former senior nurse, and while she dedicated her career to nursing, she wanted more and made the bold transition into the world of property to build what you hope would be a career that would allow you to work less, spend more time with family. Through social media, you've raised over £100,000, and networking, you now help other people to do the same.
Yeah.
I guess my starting point, and I know we kind of outlined it in who you are, but what was it that made you want to leave something that you loved and have been doing for a while and go and start something new?
I actually started my journey while I was on maternity leave.
Okay.
So that was kind of where the table was shaking in terms of like the trajectory of my career. And that's kind of the pinnacle of where everything started. So I was on maternity leave. My job was at risk. I had been working so hard all these years to reach a senior position, only for me to almost be losing my job. And I was like, I panicked. I started property out of panic, if I'm going to be honest.
So you feel like it was that pivotal moment. And do you think, in sort of like hindsight, do you ever feel like maybe in life we should be more, like we should plan more rather than being reactive to circumstance?
110%. 110%. This is something I want to speak about on my socials as well, because only 3 days ago, I got a call from a lady who's now in my situation that I was in at the time, which is she's on maternity leave, she needs to make money, XYZ, and it's like, just going back to what you're saying, if you plan more, you think about these things, then, you're not in a position where you're looking after a baby. You're doing long drives. I was doing long drives on motorway, stopping to breastfeed, like doing all this crazy stuff, looking for properties. If you plan more, then you're less likely to be in that situation.
I guess when you started, like, your career, I guess naturally that's the stability is, go to college, go to university, get a good job. And that's kind of the career trajectory we're often taught from a young age. But I guess depending on, how you want your life to look, a lot of the time that doesn't allow you or afford you to live the lifestyle that you want.
100%.
But in terms of why property, like, being on maternity leave, having a bit more time, what was it about property that made you say, look, that's where I'm going to go?
Yeah. So I was just looking. I was just on socials. I was just looking, like, what can I do? What can I do? Bearing in mind, I'm panicking, by the way, because I'm on maternity. I've been told I might not be able to come back. So I'm just like, what can I do? And what can I potentially do that can give me...
Can they do that?
There's a bit more to the story. So I don't think it's as relevant now. So at the time, COVID happened and they were forcing nurses to take the injection. I was against that. I was against being forced to take the injection. So it was like, well, if you don't take the injection, then you're going to lose your job. And a lot of people did lose their job at the time, but that was all a fluke. No one lost their job. And then I was able to go back, but I didn't know that at the time. Yeah. So for me, it was like, you need to make this work. You've got 12 months. You have to make whatever it is you do work. So I just started researching stuff. And at the time, I'd bought a property and that was making some money. That was kind of bringing in some money. And I thought,
whereabouts
hold on.
was that?
Orpington.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was bringing in some money. So I was like, hold on. That's when a penny clicked. It's like, how do I make this official? Like, how do I get more of these?
Turn this maybe
take this into
seen as a passive investment into actually
so
repeatable business.
Even
model.
though I'd bought it and it was rented out, I just saw it as because initially I was going to live in it, so I just saw it as something that it was just I bought a house, so not big deal. But when I was in that situation, it was like, oh, I need 5 more of these to replace my income. Actually, let's start looking into it. So I stumbled across rent to rent. And again, because I was on maternity leave, I was thinking, actually, initially I wanted to go into BRRR. I thought that's not wise, because if you can't go back to work, then your money could be tied up for a long time, X, Y, Z, thinking about all these things. So I thought rent to rent, low barrier to entry, I could do that quickly. That's what I was thinking at the time. And then, yeah, that's how I just got into it.
So talk about rent to rent. How long into, so let's, because I think I like to dispel myths and give people the real, like what it's really like to be in rent to rent.
100%.
So questions for you. How long from you finding out what rent to rent is, did it take you to get your first property?
6 months.
How many viewings do you think you went on?
Thousands, loads. Bearing in mind, I've got a newborn with me and a 2-year-old. So I'm doing long drives, looking for properties. Like I said, I was stopping on a hard shoulder, breastfeeding, doing all this crazy stuff. And people look at me, what are you doing? Like, you're on maternity, you need to rest. But
okay, so we're talking 6 months, you know, hundreds of viewings. How many offers do you think you put in?
I put off on all of them because in my head, if I viewed it, it was good enough.
Yeah.
So all of them.
You found a way to make it work.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less.
Yeah.
But you've put an offer in that was viable for the property. That's the thing, because every property does work at a certain price.
100%.
Even the worst house, like the worst house on the worst street is still worth something. It's just, well, what's the price point that makes it worth it for you?
Exactly.
How many times did you have the phone hung up on you?
Oh, multiple times. There were even times where I would try and kind of discuss the situation over the phone, and we've got it locked in. So I'm just like, okay, cool. All I need to do is go there, view it. We've pretty much solidified everything over the phone.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like further away, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that drive if I don't know if it's gonna. I get there, I'm thinking everything's solid. No.
Just change your heart, change your plan.
Yeah.
And did you find that very disheartening? Like,
110%.
because bearing in mind you're what? You're now, call it 5.5 months in. You've been putting in motorway miles. You've been, you know, using your electricity. You've been using your brain power, your money to power yourself for food.
Yeah.
And you see no money. What like kept you going during that period?
I've got no job. I potentially got nothing.
Yeah.
I've potentially got, this has to work. And if it's working for Joe Blogs, if such and such can do it, then you just need to put in the work and just do it.
Yeah. And I think that there's 2 really good takeaways from that. Number one is that, like, and I always say this to like the people in the community and the students like that work in PBK, and I say, look, like, so many of them are so capable and come from like, you know, amazing backgrounds. So like, for example, you being a senior nurse, you know, you've managed people, you can deal with conflict resolution, you can work under pressure. So if you can see that you can do all of these things, and then maybe you see somebody who's never had that level of experience and they can do it with less, it should give you the inspiration. Actually, I know I can do this. I've just got to carve my own lane.
Exactly.
And then the secondary thing as well is that, look, like, there's loads of different things that can be motivators. Having loads of time and being really relaxed can be a great way to get the deal done.
100%.
But also, if somebody throws you in the pool, like, you might not learn how to swim, but you're going to do your best to doggy paddle to the edge because we can't drown.
That's exactly what it was for me. It was
a sink or swim moment. What did it feel like? Like, so you're going through this process. You've had so many knockbacks, so many no's, so many time wasters. You've now finally had a conversation that's positive. Like, were you at a point where you felt like this wasn't going to happen?
I did kind of get that. Well, like, oh, this is not going to happen, because I'm calling, I'm doing viewings, I'm on Gumtree, I'm on all the platforms, and nothing's happening. Almost getting it, not quite. But I kind of always told myself, each no is closer to a yes, each no is closer to a yes. And there was one day I broke down, actually. I was crying, oh, I can't find no properties. Like, had that. And I remember sulking for like 3 days, not calling no landlords, not doing anything. Then I thought to myself, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because that's 3 days of missed work.
Yeah.
So I don't feel comfortable not doing anything. So even though I have my period where I'm like, oh yeah, sulking, I'm reluctantly picking up the phone, reluctantly picking up the laptop. I just don't feel comfortable with just not doing anything. So
Do you think, have you worked out like how you cope with like, stress or bad news now? Have you got like a system in place? What's your go-to?
Now I know. But rent didn't teach me that.
Yeah.
Be truthful.
Oh,
Taught
that
me
taught you that.
But we'll get to that.
Okay. Because you know that my coping mechanism is this, and this has been my coping mechanism from when I've been in school. Like, when I don't know, like I got a big detention or suspended, and I know like, hey, this is problems.
Yeah.
Say, listen, whatever happens, I'm going to sleep right now, and I'll wake up tomorrow and deal with this tomorrow. Like I remember like when my bike got stolen, my motorbike, when I was like 20 odd, heartbroken. That was my baby. And I just said, do you know what? I'll go to sleep. I'll give myself the day. I'll give myself the day to almost mourn, relax, but tomorrow we go again. And that's always been my kind of saving myself from a breakdown. Is like by giving yourself a little bit of leeway and then being like, you've had your time, now get up and go.
Yeah. Mine's similar. So not so much sleeping, but maybe stepping away from whatever it is.
Yeah.
So just like taking a break from it for the day. That's kind of
You
how
can step back so you can look at it more objectively. Now it makes sense. They say like, you can't find a solution when you're living in the problem.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to take that bird's eye view and look at it more objectively. So look, I think a question I want to ask you before we get on to you transitioning into the success of the rent to rent and moving into the BRRR is, what like skills and traits from your time as a healthcare professional do you think have helped you on your journey?
Conflict resolution, management skills, problem solving, big one, and analyzing, being analytical.
Do you think at a point, and I ask this question a lot, that realistically all businesses are inherently the same, just with like different outfits? Like, so you have the same issues in problem solving, people management, like being analytical in every business. It's just they look slightly different, but really the issues are the same.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Because I think problems are inevitable. In every business, you're going to have to problem solve. You're going to need to be analytical. You're going to need to communicate with people, problem solve, and manage people, essentially.
No, definitely. Let's get back into rent to rent. So first still, where was it? What did it look like? What were the numbers like? Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so Croydon, numbers. I got it for, my rent every month was 1,100. It was a 1-bed based in Croydon, and it wasn't furnished, so I had to furnish it. Spent about 3 to 4 grand furnishing it, and profit monthly was about 1,000 ish.
And so this is rent to rent in what model? In rent to
SA.
Rent to SA. It's a serviced accommodation.
Yeah.
Serviced accommodation. How did you find the whole? Because obviously now you've got the property, right?
Yeah.
You've secured it.
Yeah.
But now it's like the question with serviced accommodation is, okay, actually, you need to work on your occupancy. You need to work on your monthly. Your nightly rate. How did that go? How did you go about making that £1,000 a month?
I'm someone who I've got to do it. So I was scared doing everything. I remember paying the deposit thinking, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like, if I fail, then I fail. So in terms of like doing all the occupancy stuff, it was just having a channel manager. So I had a channel manager. Luckily, they have systems in place that kind of does all that. And I had people in the network that was doing it. So I did kind of have people to like bounce off to say like, okay, how you doing this? How you doing that? And yeah, just kind of took it from there.
Yeah, I think that's massively important in anything. That you have to be around people that have been there and done it, that you can ask the questions so you don't get stuck in,
Exactly.
Oh, I think I'm doing this wrong. When actually you might be completely right, but the fear means you don't end up doing the right thing, even though you had all the right answers.
Exactly. So key people who helped me was Luke Properties. Shout out to him.
We got Luke
Shout out
Properties,
to
man.
Luke.
That was one of my, We got Luke, man.
And Dummy Property Lifestyle.
Oh, come on,
Big
man.
up you as well.
Two of probably the earlier guests that I've had on, the PBK podcast.
So they are very pivotal in my like rent to rent journey.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So shout out Luke's Property, shout out Dammy Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Heard it here first. You know, when people are talking about what they've done, it's amazing. But to see obviously the proof in the pudding of the people they've helped, that really goes a long way. So then going forward, what was like? How did it go from there? Did it kind of,
Honestly,
whatever? Go ahead, talk to me.
Let's get into it. So initially it was going really well. Things were going right. Everything was like, I got it furnished. Everything was going well. And then I had the Ring doorbell, but I kept getting bookings. Like bookings were flooding in. So I was just, I kept pushing it back. I was like, I'll do it after the next guest. Put it up after the next guest. Put it up. Unfortunately for me, I had a terror guest. Terror guest.
Talk to me.
So they came in. First of all, they came with a dog.
Okay.
Came with a dog. And I didn't mind dogs at the time. I was accepting pets, but there was a pet fee. So I got a call from the neighbour saying, there's a dog. So, okay, cool. You need to pay a pet fee. Wasn't happy, blah, blah, blah. Then he let his dog defecate in the garden, which annoyed some of the other residents. I got another call. I'm saying, look, you're upsetting some of the neighbours, X, Y, Z. They got into an altercation, said some nasty things to each other. He got annoyed at me. They shouldn't be saying things like that to me. And I'm like, I do understand. I'm trying to problem solve out the situation. Yeah. I'm going to talk to the neighbour. I'm not happy. You need to give me a refund for my whole 7 days. And I'm like, okay, today's Wednesday. If you decide to leave, I'll give you a refund from today up until the Sunday. It's like, no, I want the full refund for the whole 7 days. And I'm like, well, that's a bit irrational. Long story short, they stayed till Sunday and I noticed a few things was gone. So my cleaner went in and she was like, things are missing. I was like, okay. So I went in there. I was like, it's calm. Just a few towels. The mop's gone, but could have been worse. Fine. So now my diary was booked out. And then little did I know, they'd actually cut a copy of the key while they had it. So I got a booking, a contractor booking, 3 months. So he's contacted me saying, I want to view the property XYZ. It's like, yeah, amazing. Let's go. I go into the property now. Bearing in mind, the keys are there. So I'm not suspecting anything. And I'm showing him around in the living room and my TV's gone. The mirror's gone. Everything's gone. Everything's gone. And I found out while I'm showing the contractor around. Everything. Worst thing, my sofa, massive hole in the middle.
Spiteful, man.
Spiteful. So I call him and he's dodging my calls. He's not picking it up. X, Y, Z. Anyway, long story short, we went to court. We went as far as going to court. I didn't want to present in court because I just didn't feel safe doing that. And he got charged. But all the items had been sold, so they couldn't really do anything. But where he'd used his name to book and everything, they found him. And he was convicted of other stuff in the past as well.
Okay. This is the thing as well. It's that's the only kind of, I guess, scary thing for a lot of people. That it's like anything with booking a hotel. There's no DBS checks or whatever.
Yeah.
But because it's kind of it's just, you're not a big corporate, you're not a big chain. It's just the one property, 5 properties, whatever it is.
It's just
one bad tenant can really ruin your experience.
Literally. So that was a real knock. That was a real kick in the teeth for me because that happened 3 months in.
Yeah.
So things were going well. 3-4 months in, everything was like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I should have done this earlier. And then boom.
So what did you do? How did you bounce back from that? What was the next
Again,
steps
I
for
went
you?
into my sulking, my sulking for a few days, reluctantly picking up the phone, reluctantly buying a new sofa. So did that. I had to get a sofa really quite quickly. Had to block out my diary for a few weeks to kind of get that sorted, and then bounce back. I was scared to go to the property
Yeah.
for a few days there because I was like, I don't know if they got a key. Are they in there? I don't want to kind of be caught in there if they come back in. Yeah.
And I guess like the takeaway from a lot of things like that is like don't delay,
Don't
particularly on safety and
delay.
systemization,
Don't
because
delay.
everything's going to be fine till it's not. And then when it's not, it's going to be a really big
So what
deal.
did I do after? There's me putting the ring
The ring
doorbell
doorbell
in,
up.
literally. And then I changed my systems in terms of how I accepted bookings. Because at the time, there was really no system. I just had it on Airbnb with Booking.com. Like, I had a channel manager, but there was no sort of like identification check. So I changed my channel manager to uplisting. Uplisting allows you to do that, whereas I had another one that didn't do that.
Yeah.
It was up to me to either do it manually or not do it at all. Because I had the bookings flowing in, I was just like, I'll do it after. I'll do it after. I'll do it after.
The blindness, the money can blind you
Do you know what I
sometimes
mean?
to
Yeah.
some of the common sense stuff that you maybe could have and should have
It
done.
was common sense. Like everyone knows you put a Ring doorbell there. Like everybody knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
If you had it, you ordered it.
I had
You were just
it.
blinded by the dollar, by the bills.
Yeah.
So look, like fast forward now, you're now focusing on building a personal brand. You know, you're getting into the BRRR. For a lot of people, they can't see the jump. Like, how do you move from, rent to rent to actually buying and owning properties and doing the buy, refurbish, refinance model? Speak on that.
If I'm going to be honest, I think you just take the jump. I don't necessarily believe, it's probably worked for other people, but I don't necessarily believe that rent to rent is a segue into BRRR.
Let me pause the video for a quick word from our sponsors. Now, let me put you onto something that could seriously level up your property game. When I started investing, I didn't fully grasp the benefits of using a limited company structure. But here's the deal. Over 75% of new UK investment properties are now purchased through limited companies. Now, why? Because it's a more tax efficient way of purchasing. You can claim your mortgage interest reliefs, benefits from lower corporation tax rates, plus it sets you up nicely for scaling your property portfolio and passing on wealth to the next generation. Simply put, it can help you increase your margin. Now, setting up and managing a limited company might sound daunting, but that's where GetGround come in. They handle the entire process for you, from setting up your company in days to managing your accounts and tax returns and ensuring compliance all under one roof. They even help you find financing to help you fund your investments, your own dedicated consultant, and a completely digital dashboard to track and manage the performance of your investments. But because I'm serious about giving back, I've got a great offer for you. GetGround is offering a free investment consultation plus 3 months of free accounting and tax services when you sign up through my link. Now, this is a huge opportunity to get started on the right foot. So if you're serious about building or optimizing your portfolio, then check out the link in the description. Fill out the form for a free consultation and claim your 3 months of free services. Don't miss out on this. You can even transfer existing buy-to-let companies over to GetGround and still take advantage of the amazing offer. Now back to the video.
I don't think that.
Yeah, no, I think look, there are transferable skills
100%.
in terms of like the people management, in terms of like being able to quote unquote like cost a deal or cost an opportunity.
Yeah.
But I do think they are very different businesses. And like I said, it's just the fact they both are in property. But there's probably a lot more businesses that, have more similarities.
Yeah. I think the way rent to rent is sold is, get into rent to rent and use the income to then get into it. I'm sure it's worked for some people. I just don't think it's a viable way to do it. Because I've seen people who have multiple rent to rent deals or rent to SAs and they still raise money or they still raising funds. So I'm just like, if you're going to use rent to rent as a business, then it's a business. But if you're trying to use it to raise money for your BRR deals and you're going to end up raising money, just learn how to raise money and just do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We
What do you
speak
think
about that
about
regularly. Like realistically, like a lot of the time, unless you're doing rent to rent, like in high volumes, like in terms of actually, because you're constantly reinvesting the money to build the portfolio,
Yeah.
often it's really difficult to use those funds to allow you to transition because you're constantly trying to build your cash flow as opposed to your working capital.
Yeah.
So what did your first deal, your first, investment property, what did that look like? Give me some more information on that.
So that was in Coventry.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers wise, I got it for 125.
Mm-hmm.
I refinanced I actually got a down value. So I refinanced at, I think, 170-ish.
Mm-hmm.
My refurb was about 55. And yeah, cash flow, £101 a month.
Okay.
No, 1,100.
1,100. So explain the deal to me again. You purchased for how much?
125.
125. And then you spent how much on the refurb?
55-ish.
Okay. But you got a down value. So really you were actually almost at a slight loss in terms of the deal.
Yeah. But where I was able to recoup it was my monthly cash flow.
Yeah.
And that was because I got a social housing company
To come and take the property.
to take it. So
then now I guess you're at 25% loan to value.
yeah.
So you're kind of all in for circa 45K. You're making 1,000 a month. So you're making around 25% return on capital employed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's only that though.
Yeah.
It's only that because the down value I got was quite significant.
But I guess the silver lining of that is maybe you've got like unrealized equity in the property because of the down value.
Yeah.
And obviously after whatever the mortgage term is, 3 to 5 years, you can then release a lot more capital.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I want to understand, you're a London girl, based locally. One, what made you buy in Coventry? And two, how did you find the property?
Okay, so in terms of how I found it, it was just Rightmove. I was just looking on Rightmove, found something that I thought would be good, and drove usually. So I start with why Coventry. One, because London's really expensive.
True.
Very expensive. And as it was my first one, I thought, you know what? Go out a bit, not somewhere where I can't travel to. So Coventry, I was comfortable with going to Coventry because it wasn't too far. And yeah, it was just Rightmove. So when I was doing my viewings, I would normally block book like loads of viewings, like 10 in
Efficiencies,
a day.
like try and make sure that if
try
you're
and
going to
make
be
it-
there,
yeah, if I'm going
you're
to
not
be
just
there,
traveling for one viewing, just in case you get a cancellation halfway up the motorway, you haven't wasted your entire day.
Exactly. And that put all the offers in. But for this one, it was just the one.
Yeah.
It was just the one.
All the eggs,
All
one
the
basket.
eggs, one basket. Literally, I was just like, this looks like a good deal. Booked it, travelled down, and there was floods of people outside. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, what's the odds of getting this? But yeah, persisted with it, put my offer in, and yeah, got it.
So earlier on, you said you find it difficult to not be doing something.
Yeah.
How have you found the transition from working full-time, very time demanding, to actually obviously being an entrepreneur, being self-employed, and effectively having a lot more free time?
I struggle. I'm always doing something. So if I'm sitting down, it's like my brain is saying, why are you sitting down? Why are you sitting down? You should be recording content. If you're not recording content, why are you not on Rightmove? If you're not on Rightmove, why are you not? My brain is just constantly, you need to be doing something. So I do struggle with that. I have an accountability partner. Shout out to Antonia.
Yeah.
She's in your group actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is why it's a small world. Like it's a small world.
she's always like, you need time out.
Yeah.
You need to take time out. You're not allowed to check your email. You're not allowed. I struggle.
Yeah.
And I struggle because when I try to take time out, it's almost like something proves that you shouldn't have taken time out. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So on my birthday, so this deal that we're talking about, I was on holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I was on holiday. It was near the end of like completion. Then I wasn't supposed to be checking my emails, but I did. Checked my emails. And my solicitor was like, oh, you need to sign this document. So there I am on holiday looking for a printer, running up and down looking for a printer. I needed a black ink pen. I could not find a black ink pen. Running around for an hour looking for a black ink pen, literally knocking on everyone's door. Do you have a pen, please? Do you have a pen, please? I closed the deal on my birthday.
Yeah.
Just because I was able to sign.
You were there. And I think that's what's really, because you do need to clock off. Like, you do need to have enjoyment.
I know.
Shall I tell you my story?
Go on.
I've gone on holiday and I've gone skiing, but I was supposed to complete on this transaction. It was an auction purchase before.
Yeah.
Didn't do. Had like 1 day left to complete, or like, you know, you go into the notice period where if you don't complete after the 7 days, you can lose your deposit. It's like £45,000.
Yeah.
But like, they didn't realize I had to have my signature witnessed. I'm supposed to be like, have that witnessed by the solicitor. I was in the mountains going up the gondola, one phone on FaceTime to the solicitor,
Are you joking?
while so they can witness it whilst I do the e-signing on like my iPad or on the other one.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's people on there looking at me like, but sometimes you just have to get it done.
Exactly. That's how I felt. I was like, I need to get this done.
The only thing I would say, and I say this to like, you know, aspiring entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs that are already smashing it, that are watching this, is that there is that balance of, we're working really hard, like for the money, for the quote unquote financial freedom. Yeah. And that's like a buzzword that's really popular in property. But the reality is, financial freedom means having your own time.
Yeah.
And when you speak to those that are really successful, the most important currency isn't pounds, dollars, yen, euro. The most important currency is time.
100%.
So you have to get to a point where you give yourself that time back.
It's something I know I struggle with. It's something I struggle with.
Can I give you one tip?
Go on.
Take your emails off your phone.
Okay.
Like, it's hard because you feel naked for a little while.
Yeah.
But take your emails off your phone and you'll realize.
Knowing me, I would just use the internet, you know.
Do you know what it is? I make sure I don't know my passwords.
I
don't know, like, so like I have to go back to my laptop where like they're all stored in the keychain, because it just means that, look, if something's really important, somebody will phone you.
Yeah.
And if it's in your emails, like, everybody else is probably working a 9 to 5. They'll get it when they get it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I think that's been a game changer.
One time I did kind of book a spa and just like shut off. That's only happened once.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
It's good. It is good. So you just touched on having an accountability partner. How important do you think like networking is in the property space and for your journey?
I got two opinions about this. The first one is, we know networking, like, your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
It's pivotal. I mentioned a few people earlier that's helped me in my journey. And even while you're in that space, because problems arise and things happen. And it's good to have people to bounce off and share opinions with. But equally, I think it's important to be intentional about your networking, like what you plan, like what you're going there for, like what would you want to get out of it. Yeah.
And I think intentional networking is very important. I think also we underestimate like that social media is actually just remote networking.
100%.
It's building your social credibility. So even for those of us that like, I don't like networking events. I went to one yesterday. And I was like, you could be like, spot the neurodivergent, spot the one that's a bit awkward in the room. was myself.
Yeah.
But like, you can find your own way to network.
100%.
You don't have to be the person that's going to stand up in the front of the room and pitch their business.
Yeah.
You can be the person that's posting content on Instagram or TikTok.
Exactly.
Find what works for you. like in terms of your socials, obviously you're a big advocate for people making the changes that you've made, both in nursing and other stressful jobs. What advice would you have for somebody that is looking to make the transition to either be part-time or full-time in property?
I would say make the decision. I know it sounds cliche when people say understand your why, but it's so important. If you make that decision, why are you making that decision? If you don't understand why, then when things get tough, you fall off. Make the decision, understand your why, find someone who's done it, because they can help you along your journey, and just go for it.
That's good advice. Do you think property investment is for everyone?
I think it can be. Is it? It can be.
Why are you asking me the question? Don't try and reverse it on me. Do you think
Do I think
property investment is for everyone?
It can be, but I don't think it is. It can be. It
sounds like if there was a fence, you'd be sitting on it. I'm going to ask you this question one more time.
I'm going to say no then. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'll say no. Reason why is because I want to say it can be, right? Because wait. Let me explain myself. It can be because there's nothing that you can't do if you don't have the right education, if you don't have the mindset and XYZ. But then why I say no is because some people limit themselves to develop themselves into, having the attributes and the knowledge and the skill sets that's required to survive in this. So do you get what I'm saying now? So it can be if they put in the work, but because they don't, no.
Yeah, I just think like everything. Do you know my thing is with everything?
Go on.
I don't think anything is for everyone. Like,
You reckon?
I don't think...
but it can be though. If they
No, but like for some people, like just based on it, okay, change could.
Okay.
And I think it makes more sense, and I'd be more inclined to agree with you.
Okay, let's say could, then it could be. I think that's the correct English, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like our question, by the way. Yeah. See, when I start these podcasts, all the time, I struggle with the transition between today I'm joined by, like, so I'm saying today I'm joined by John, or today I'm joined with John, or is there something else I'm supposed to say? Because neither of them sound like they make sense. So
but
if you're
what would you
to
put
this,
in between though? What would you put?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's something that today I'm joined. Maybe I'm not supposed to say joined. Yeah, but today I'm alongside.
No.
No, alongside. Next to. Today I welcome. Today
I will be welcoming. Today I will be welcoming.
I don't know, it sounds overly formal.
Oh, wow.
Sound like I'm introducing royalty. Today I will be welcoming. Yes, a bit. Let me know, because I've been struggling with that. If you listen to the intros, you can hear me and I sound like I'm not sure. Another question for you. You speak about financial freedom. It's a two-part question. What does financial freedom mean to you, and do you think you've achieved it?
On a basic level, I've got two ideas of what financial freedom looks like. So financial freedom could just be replacing your income. So not thinking about having a flamboyant lifestyle, doing all these, really expensive things. It could be just, let's say you're someone who earns £2,000 a month. You've got yourself to a place where you can comfortably live and you earn £2,000 a month. You've replaced your income. You're somewhat financially free because you've replaced your income. Have I achieved it? No, I'm not there yet, but that's because of where I want to be.
Can I give you my opinion?
Go on.
I think it's an imaginary saying.
You think? I think it Go on, explain that.
I think it means nothing. I think it's like an airy-fairy saying.
I hear what you're saying, but explain.
Financial freedom, like, is the implication of I think real financial freedom is like living off grid where everything is self-sufficient and you don't actually need anything.
Yeah.
Like the reality is that in a capitalist society, like we constantly want and need more, and there's always something that's nicer and more expensive, So I just think it's a bit of a red herring that sounds good because it almost is built to make it sound like you're not achieving if you can do nothing and not be okay. But I think, like you said, most entrepreneurs come from a place of actually we feel very uncomfortable and often very unhappy, and it can lead to depression, like not having a purpose in terms of what we go out and do every day to drive to make things happen.
Yeah.
So I think,
But I think. Go on. What was I going to
yes, I think it's a bit like almost disillusioning that like, oh, you need to be financially free, when actually like the beauty is in the journey and the struggle and everything that comes with.
I know, but I think you can say that because of where you are. Like, I think financial freedom.
Fair.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good shut up.
Because financial freedom to most people is, oh, just quit my job, or being in a place where I can live without necessarily having to wake up at 9 o'clock or. Well, not 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I think that's what that means.
See, when I had a job, I was always late. I wake up late all the time. Now that I don't have to go there, I wake up at like 6:37 every day.
Do you see what I mean? But then you're happy doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think financial freedom doesn't necessarily mean, you know, like you said, people want more, people want aspire.
Yeah.
Some people haven't even got to the point where they can aspire for more. They're literally sinking and they just want to.
I do, yeah. No.
So that's financial freedom to them. It's like, actually, I want to have a slow morning. They can't have a slow morning.
Yeah.
Financial freedom would be, I can have a slow morning today.
Okay. And that, do you know what it is? Yeah. That's why I love doing these podcasts, because regardless, like sometimes I say to people, like, oh, why'd you do it? And I'm like, it's like free therapy.
Yeah.
Just sit down, chat. And there's always something that, you know, is thought provoking for me. And I think it is. It's the idea of not doing nothing, but the option to decide what you do and when. So
That's
it's the optionality side of it.
I can decide. I still have my PIN. I could decide I'm going to go to work. I could decide, actually, no, I'm not going to go to work. Oh, it's a registration PIN.
It's a nursing term,
It's a
isn't
nursing
it?
pin,
It's like, you know, when you just randomly throw around,
Yeah.
oh, like BMV to someone,
I know.
and they're just looking at you like,
yeah.
what's this?
So a PIN is a nursing registration PIN that keeps you active. I almost lost it because I wasn't using it, but I don't want to lose my PIN.
No, it is. It's like you have to stay like
active.
current.
So I do enough to stay active, but I don't have to like clock in every day.
So I guess in terms of growing your portfolio, like, do you have like a number in mind that's like, that's where I want to get to?
I don't.
No.
I've bought this, no one knows about this, right? I bought this card, right? And it has multiple properties on there. And I haven't counted how many it has actually. But anyway, the aim is to tick all of them off.
Just tick them all off.
Yeah, but I don't have a number. No,
Okay.
I don't.
Just continue the moment, you're just enjoying the journey, continuing growing.
And I would say I'm still at the beginning of my journey actually. So
sure. And I think, look, that's why like loads of people, like I try and get some people on this podcast and they're like, oh no, I want to wait till I've got like 20 properties. I want to wait till I've got, but I said like the whole thing about networking and like, you know, is speaking to that person as maybe just 1 or 2 steps ahead of you.
Exactly.
Because their journey is going to be a lot more relatable. Like, so people are going to click with you and maybe they're doing what you were doing a year ago or 2 years ago. So it resonates a lot more.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you coming on. I know
Thank
a lot of
you.
people get scared, but if I do ask you to come on the pod and be giving me excuses, I know some of you, someone I'm talking to in particular, you're doing a lot of stuff. And every time you're like, next year, but we're going to get it locked in this year because I want to get some good guests on as well.
I'm very much, I've done quite a bit. I think I've done quite a bit. And it's just documenting your journey. It's your journey at the end of the day.
No, for sure. So you got some couple light-hearted questions I wanted to ask you. If you could describe your property journey in one word, what would it be?
Turbulent.
Oh, that's turbulent. It's a good word.
Yeah.
It's a scary word. It's a good word.
Turbulent.
Fair enough.
Turbulent.
What's like something that's funny or unexpected that's happened on a deal or a viewing during your property journey?
On a deal?
It could be just on some, I don't know if you've gone on a viewing, it could be during like a refurb or, you know, during like you having a property on rent to rent.
Funny.
Unexpected. Anything? I mean, to be fair, you may have already told it with the person stealing all your furniture.
Oh
Like,
yeah, well that went funny.
it was
but
unexpected.
Unexpected.
You had a Ring doorbell, you would have known it was
Do you know
happening.
what I mean? Exactly. So quite a few unexpected stuff, but then they're not. I wouldn't say they're unexpected because you kind of expect it in property. So like your delays with builders, your things not being done on time. That's causing significant. Oh, there was one expected thing though. One of my builders, obviously there was delays. I ran out of money. They walked off site. Blah blah blah. And I was just like, look, I need to get this. Like, you guys need to speed up. My bridge is coming to an end, so like, speed it up. They said, just call them and extend it. And I was just like, no, we have time. You guys need to get the work done. Like, don't tell me to extend my bridge. That's just ridiculous. But yeah. But again, is that unexpected? I think once you get into property or you get into a deal, it's like, the risk, you're getting into. So this could potentially happen.
Oh, for sure. If you weren't in property or weren't nursing, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'll be on a beach.
No, you would. How would you be on a beach? What would you be doing career-wise? Not just...
Do you know what? That's a funny question for me. Do you know why? All my life, well, not all my life, but since doing nursing, my question was, if I wasn't doing nursing, what would I do? And I didn't have the answer for a long time until I went into property. So it's like...
So you feel like you've got that answer?
I mean, yeah, I've got the answer.
You've got the answer.
I
You
feel
haven't
like
got
I've
an
got the
answer to the
answer.
answer.
I've got an answer to the answer.
Fair enough. Final question before we let you go. What do you think is like a common myth or misconception in property that you would like to dispel? Or do you like just wish more people understood?
Property isn't as passive as we think. Property is not passive.
It is not passive. Sometimes people steal your TV.
Yeah.
Sometimes your contractors are not on site.
That's right.
Sometimes your solicitors don't answer your phone calls.
Yeah.
So I could go on forever.
Yeah.
Property is not passive. I think that is a great way to leave things. If people want to connect with you, if people want to, get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook.
We need the links.
Esther Lara. Alafia Properties on Instagram. My main platform is Instagram that I use. It's Alafia Properties.
Amazing. Well, we'll make sure we include the links in the bio. That has been another episode of the PBK podcast. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to share it with a friend that you think this would help. Make sure you like it and, of course, subscribe. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Peace.